Hi, it's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and here on YouTube you know me as Epic Fantasy, and it's my latest tutorial. This is the KillMonger sword from Black Panther, the movie Black Panther. Fun sword, it's really quite unique in shape. And in this tutorial, well, I'll show you how to do it. All you need is one sheet of foam board and a wooden dowel, and you'll be good. And no template for this one, no template is needed, but I'm going to show you a couple of unique little tricks when it comes to working with foam board in this project, including how to remove one side of the paper foam board easily. So thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for watching this video. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. If not, hit that button. I've got somewhere around 900 videos and plenty more coming. Dioramas, origami, catapults, and trebuchets, telescopes, terrariums, bonsai trees, and paper games, swords and shields, and real blacksmithing, rattle rockets, animation. I teach the art of real creation. StormTheCastle.com. Let's make something. Okay, so let's get started. You can do this project with cardboard too if you want, but I'm using a sheet of foam board, 20 inches by 30 inches. That's just pretty standard. Mark a 6-inch from the edge and a 3-inch from the edge on both ends like this, the long wise. 3 inches and 6 inches. And that'll be the major shape of our sword. And then draw a line across those. And you'll see what I mean. I'm just using a piece of foam board here to draw a straight line. That's the center of the sword. And that's the end of the sword. See it? So now on one end, do this. 3 inches from the edge. Draw a slightly bowed shape like that. And now that's the point of the sword. So this is why you don't need a template for this project, because it's pretty easy to do. And then 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches like this. That's 2 inches from the 1 inch from the center line, 1 inch from the center line, which makes 2 inches. And that's the handle end of the blade of the sword. You know, and there you go. So now we have an interesting thing here. Mark it in the center, which for me was, I think, 26 inches, so 13 inches. And that's only a guide mark for what we're going to do. I'm going to show you a little technique for creating the curves cleanly on the sword. What you need is a piece of string that's 9 to 10 feet long. Tape it. Now I had to move it around a little bit, so somewhere between 9 and 10 feet, but try it. Tape it down to the floor like this. And see, I first did it at 8 feet and the curve wasn't right. You'll see what I mean. I ended up moving it to 9, 9.5, something like that. And then put that string on your pencil and hold it tight and then do this. So what you have is a radius that gives you a nice curve. And I ended up doing a couple of them. Takes a little bit of practice. Flip it over and do the other side. So now that's an easy way to make a nice clean curve. You know, just a piece of string, 10 feet. Get one 10 feet long and a pencil. Piece of tape. And then cut that out. Just do one. Now it's a cute little technique for if you want to do different shapes, different size arcs and circles and stuff. And then take that piece, put it on your sheet of foam board, and do a second one. And the reason why we're doing a second one is to make the blade stronger. You know, if you've been following my videos for a long time, you know, why don't you check out my Patreon page? I do have some goals. I could use your help. It'd be really nice for you. I have 21 people right now as patrons, and I really appreciate their help. Thank you, all my patrons. But consider $1, $2, $5 a month to help me out so I can continue to do what I do. Now get yourself a wooden dowel. It could be a broomstick or, you know, a piece of dowel from the Home Depot that's about an inch thick, and cut it 14 inches long. And on one end, put a 2-inch long slot in it like this. I'll show you. See how I've cut it twice? Take a little bit of practice, but you can get it. Just use a saw. If you have a bandsaw, that'd be perfect. And then to get that piece of wood out, you can either drill it, use some kind of a jeweler's saw or a small saw, or you can even chisel it. Or just hammer it with a chisel. Well, it's like this. You know, put a chisel in there and hammer it to get that piece out. I use the jeweler's saw. See? Now that's the sword end of the handle. So glue together your two pieces of sword blade. You know, I got some big things coming. I got some big changes coming, both in my life and in my YouTube channel. So stay tuned. Stick with me. Make sure you hit that bell button so you know when I post a video. If you hit the little bell on my main channel, my main page, it'll notify you that I posted a new video. See, now slide that handle onto the sword blade like that and glue it in place. Now, we're going to do some detail work, and here's my tip. I alluded to this tip on to take the paper off of foam board. You just use acetone or fingernail polish remover, which is acetone. Put some on a rag, and then just wet the paper. And what it does is the acetone dissolves the glue that is holding the paper to the foam. Now you can just peel it right off. That's a wonderful little tip, see? So in this video, you learn a little trick about using a 10-foot long string, and you learned a neat little technique for getting paper off of foam board. So cut a bunch of strips that are 1 inch wide. And the reason why we remove one sheet of paper is so this will curve smoothly. If you had the foam board would crinkle and crack, and it doesn't curve smoothly like this. When you take one sheet of paper off, it will curve around the handle of the sword like this very neatly, and you can glue it in place. So now, to mimic the actual sword, you're going to put a bunch of them on there like that, and put a small space between each one. See, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Those are all 1 inch strips. Glue them on and wrap them around. And if you don't have a hot glue gun, you're using a regular glue, that's okay. Put a little piece of tape on them to hold them in place while the glue is drying. And now at the end, when you get to the end, do a double piece like this, so it's double thick, about half as wide. And then cut a couple of circles like this, and glue those on, and that creates your pommel. And then from here, look what I did to the base of that blade. I just cut strips of foam board and put them on the base of that blade. So we finish off the building of the sword by cutting out the holes in the top like this. And that's that. You've built it. You know, it didn't take me long, a few hours to make this project. It won't take you long. Now let's paint it. Really simple. After I did this gray paint, I thought, it's a little dark. So if I were you, I would go with something lighter. If you have a gray like this, maybe add some white to it to lighten it up. But paint the whole blade, and then paint those segmentata on the handle a wooden color. I just mixed some gold and some yellow, and it was pretty nice. I like it. So I'll go ahead and paint all of that. So I got more videos coming. I'm going to try to queue some up so I get ahead of the game. We'll see. I get a lot of stuff going on. I'll talk more about that, but you know, here we go. And then paint the bevels, the sharp edge bevels, a brighter silver color. And that's it. It's pretty much done. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you make this project, send me a picture, and I will put it on my website and send you a certificate of contribution, which I've done at least 1,000 times. A lot of people make my projects and send me pictures, and I send them a certificate with your name on it by email. Now, if you want me to do another Black Panther weapon, I was thinking there's a couple of other weapons that are kind of neat in the movie. You know, leave me a comment. Tell me which one you would like me to do. Maybe I'll do it. If it gets a lot of thumbs up, I'll do it. And if you have, of course, as always, if you have suggestions for projects, leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Share my stuff with your friends. Oh, and I put Mod Podge on it. I skipped that part. I put Mod Podge on it to seal it and to give it a little bit of a shine. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you're not a subscriber, hit that button. I always have lots of fun and interesting and very creative projects. I do 2 new ones every week. As an example, here's a couple more videos you might want to watch.